I had absolutely no intention to record and upload a second video today. Today's Champions League day. There were Champions League games, and in none of these games Juventus was there. For what reason? Because we were eliminated against PSV in Eindhoven. I was there. That competition is over. But then there was that result. PSV 1, Arsenal 7. PSV destroyed in their stadium, in the Philips Stadium. And I must speak about it. Will I be unpopular? Maybe. But I need to speak about that game. Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you are all doing well. I know that a lot of you are speaking about the game PSV Arsenal. I repeat the score, yes, you hear me well. 1 for the Dutch team, 7 for the club from London. I didn't really want to speak about it, but then I started to read the general feeling of Juventini online. I started to receive some messages in direct messages on Instagram. I also started to read comments here under the video of today, and all of them, they go towards one direction. They go towards Arsenal that totally destroyed the team that eliminated us. They made them look like amateurs. It was embarrassing to see as Juventini. We, Juventini, we are embarrassed after the result of today. I will be extremely unpopular now. You know how much the result of today between PSV and Arsenal changed to my life? 0. It doesn't affect me at all. PSV could have won today 5-0. It would not have changed a single thing to me. They could have lost PSV 100-0. It doesn't change anything. I'm absolutely not embarrassed today. You know when I was embarrassed? When I was sitting there in the Philips Stadium, on the stairs, watching, seeing all of the Dutch fans celebrating. I was embarrassed while I was recording that post-game video. I was embarrassed when I understood that it was difficult to score against them, even if we had a 2-1 advantage from our home game. I was embarrassed when we conceded that goal from a 36-year-old player, Perisic, that was running faster than the other ones. I was embarrassed when Thiago Motta is actually putting up a Thuram and Bangula. We score a lucky goal with Wea. We are back in the run, 1-1 at 20-25 minutes from the end of the game. He's asking them to sit back. He was taking a right decision. He took a bad decision, a wrong decision to let them sit back. And we are conceding that second goal. And I was really embarrassed there. I was singing with the Ultra, hoping that our team was doing something, but I didn't believe in it because they were not showing me any signs of believing it. In that second half, a total disaster. In that first extra half time, I was really embarrassed. That was the moment where I was embarrassed. The last minutes of the game, we tried something without even believing it too much. We were not convinced of that. I was embarrassed of the words of Thiago Motta after the game that told us if I would have changed something, no, I would have done exactly the same. I was embarrassed of the words of Locatelli that is telling us the truth. They believed more. They wanted more than qualification than us. Are you joking? We are Juve. I was embarrassed that our management didn't speak about that game. That was all the huge big embarrassment that I had. That day in Eindhoven. Not today. Today doesn't change a single thing to my life. I don't care. Do you think that when we were eliminated by Ajax, that because they have beaten Real Madrid or Manchester City, I don't remember even what team, it was a big team, do you think that I was feeling better? It doesn't change a thing. Do you think that today, if they won 5-0, I would have feel better? But we lost against a team that is a good team. I don't care about that. You know what I care? That we were humiliated in their home that day, not today. Do you really think that I was waiting for PSV to be destroyed by Arsenal to understand that we had a chance against them? I already know that we had a chance against them. Do you think that I had to wait until Arsenal beat them at home, that it was possible to beat them at home? Do you think that I had to wait until the game of today between them and the Gunners to understand that they were in a moment of crisis? We all know the result that they have. They are losing or drawing against Eagles. Guys, are we joking? They are in an extremely difficult moment, in a crisis, and we knew it before playing that game against them. Not today. We knew that they are in a lot of difficulties, that they are not the top team of last year, where they totally deservedly won the Scudetto of Eredivisie. We know that. We perfectly know that. So the game of today doesn't change a single thing to my life. Don't be embarrassed of the result of today. It doesn't change anything. Also because one game is not the other. One game has a total different story than the other. We know it ourselves, guys. Maybe would have gone through against PSV, would have played against Arsenal. Some people will say, luckily we didn't qualify. But the story is telling us something else. When we are playing against these small teams, PSV, Villarreal, Porto, Lyon, Ajax, and more, we are always eliminated. When we are playing the bigger team on paper, Real Madrid, Barcelona, etc., we go through. That's the history of Juve. Maybe we would have gone through against Arsenal. Maybe we would have done something beautiful. Like a lot of people told me here, we will never win against Inter. We won 1-0. We will never do well against Manchester City in the beginning of the season. We won 2-0. You never know in football. One story is not the other. Maybe we would not have even played against Arsenal because maybe the pot would have been different. It would have played Inter. Maybe we would have done well against Inter. You never know. Football is like that. What's happening today is not valid yesterday and will not be valid tomorrow. Every single game has a story by himself. I'm not embarrassed of the result of today, guys, because I'm also focusing on something else. I'm focusing on something else. Do I believe today that we will win the Scudetto? No. I told you, before match day 30, I don't want even to really start going for it. I don't want to believe that it's possible. I don't want to sell dreams here. But I need and I'm obliged to look at the reality, the stats, the facts, the calculations, and the calculations of Opta that did 10,000 simulations for the Scudetto run, for the Champions League run, for the Europa League run, for the European spot runs. They are telling us that after 10,000 probabilities, Juventus, at the moment, they have 1.38 chances to win the Scudetto. 1.38 on 10,000 simulation, 1.38%. It really looks like Avengers Endgame when they are saying, how many probabilities did you see in that multiverse, in all the possibilities? 1. And I'm not even sure. That's the situation where we are today. After match day 27, that's the situation where we are today. 1.38. That next week, beating Atalanta could go higher. You remember when we were speaking about how much was it? 70% of chances to qualify with a 5th spot in Europe after one game only. I mean, one match day only. The chances were over. You never know. You never know how much it can go high or it can be totally gone. 1.38. Does that mean here that I believe in it? No, because that team, they didn't show us enough to really believe in them. That PSV game that we were just speaking about. That Empoli game, but a lot of draws. Speaking about draws, my friend. Some people tell me, Beppe, with 13 draws in a season, it is impossible to win the Scudetto. You know what? I will tell you more. There is a guy that did it in his first season at Juve with 15 draws. 15 draws on 38 games, of course, with 0 losses. If we are looking at that first season of Antonio Conte, that started with 4 results that were identical to the 4 first results of Thiago Motta. 3-0, 3-0, so 3 points in the 2 first games. Draw for Thiago Motta. Win 4-1 against Parma. Another win and then a draw for Antonio Conte. We are there. After match day 27, we have 52 points. Antonio Conte, 53. 13 wins each. 13 draws for Thiago Motta. 14 draws for Conte. We have 1 loss against Napoli. He didn't lose any game at that moment. We scored even more goals. 45, they scored 39. We conceded 4 goals more. 21 against us, 17 for the team of Antonio Conte. What does that mean? It means everything. It means nothing. It's probabilities. It's like that 1.38%. Like, for example, that the destiny is telling us that the last game, or not the last game, but match day 37, it will be again in the same match day. Juve that will play against Udinese, Inter that will play against Lazio. Today it's really extremely worrying. And that's what I'm focused on. It's too early, sorry. It's too early to focus on that. But that's what I'm focusing on today, on the Scudetto, on all the remaining games, 11 games to play. That means 33 points to grab with one game a week, starting with Atalanta. Let's try to go for it. We are playing in our home. Let's try to win that game. And then we will think about Fiorentina. And then we will think about the next one. And then we will think about Roma. And then the next one. And the next one. And the next one. Knowing that Napoli have a really easy calendar. That Inter is still playing in 3 competitions. That Atalanta has a hell of a calendar. Let's see what we can do. Will we be fourth? We will be fourth. Will we be third? We will be third. Will we be out fifth? It's because it's an embarrassing Serie A as well. Like it was embarrassing against PSV. We need to try. We need to try and to see what will happen. Can we increase that 1%? That 1.38% of probabilities. At matchday 30, we will see how high or how low we will be. But at the moment, guys, I have absolutely no intention to be embarrassed for a game that I don't care at all about. PSV 1, Arsenal 7, I don't care at all about it. I am embarrassed about the Philips Stadium where we played, not about today. I don't care. Focusing on another journey. My journey is to go with 11 games, trying to go as close as possible to let Beppe really believe that we can do it. Grazie for listening. Ciao. Grazie. Forza. Juve.